Today marks 1 week out since the Mueller report was released, and right now the battle lines are about whether you'll learn everything that's in it. Top Republicans like Mitch McConnell telling people already to move on. Bill Barr saying everyone should just rely on his press conference instead of perhaps reading the actual findings from Bob Mueller. And while Democrats are talking up hearings to probe the facts, Americans are actually still reading the report themselves. It's been the most popular book on Amazon since it came out. That's pretty unusual for a 400-page government report. In fact, the Mueller report is so exhaustive, it's so detailed, it's actually so studded with facts and quotes and all kinds of stories, I don't think it's really possible to digest it all in a few days. And we've been reporting out different parts of it on this show, so you can make up your own mind about the evidence. And tonight, we present to you another absolutely wild story from the Mueller report that actually answers one of these recent mysteries. What was this all about?
Is President Trump prepared to let the special counsel pursue his investigation?
Well, I think he's considering perhaps terminating the special counsel. I think he's weighing that option. I personally think it would be a very significant mistake.
That was Trump insider Chris Ruddy, who runs Newsmax, seeming to dish on the very thing that might hamper or end his good friend's presidency, a massacre of trying to fire Mueller. So why would Ruddy go on TV to do something that seemed to undercut Trump? Because the Trump White House asked him to. Donald Trump's team was trying to save Trump from Trump. And the Mueller report documents that Trump's top aides, Chief of Staff Reince Priebus and advisor Steve Bannon, tried to stop President Trump from ousting Mueller, saying his arguments to do so were ridiculous. They feared that Trump was not listening, that he didn't believe their warnings that all this would backfire, or Chris Christie's warning that firing Mueller was the one thing Trump could do that would lead Republicans in Congress to abandon him. Mueller quotes that as well. So get this. Bannon and Priebus hatched a plan in June 2017. This is just about a month into the probe. And they meet with Ruddy, who you just saw on your screen, and tell him their concerns. Ruddy offers to publicize Trump's plan to fire Mueller. And that, of course, would seem credible coming from a Trump supporter like him. Priebus agrees, noting the plan might avoid another blow-up like the one that followed the termination of Comey. So to stop Trump from trying to fire Mueller, his own aides and a top loyal supporter plot this televised sort of test run of the plan to give Trump just a taste of the backlash and try to trick him into backing down. The Mueller report detailing on how, on the very day of the White House meeting I just described, Ruddy goes off to this respectable public affairs program. Keep in mind everything you've just learned as you watch this PBS clip again.
Is President Trump prepared to let the special counsel pursue his investigation?
Well, I think he's considering perhaps terminating the special counsel. I think he's weighing that option. I personally think it would be a very significant mistake.
Thanks to Mueller, we now know what was really going on there. Ruddy telling America, you guys, he's really going to try this, and then adding his own concern there as an afterthought. Now, Ruddy did not say this was part of a White House plot to stop Trump from his own desperate aides in that interview. He just said, hey, Trump wants to do it, and boom, cue the headlines. There you see it. Serious outlets, Trump considering firing Mueller. The legal and political world assessing whether this new disruptive president would Saturday night massacre himself in his first half a year on the job. And if you watch the news, you may remember Ruddy's gambit. It was everywhere.
Christopher Ruddy, and he told PBS that the president is considering possibly firing the special prosecutor Robert Mueller, which would be a bombshell of epic proportions if actually happened.
I mean, it gets more and more a rapid version of Watergate. Chris Ruddy, his colleague, perhaps his surrogate, are now putting out the word Mueller. Your life is limited here.
And actually, Chris Ruddy is pushing back as well. He just sent me a text a few minutes ago where he says that Sean Spicer didn't deny my claim that the president is considering firing Mueller.
What you just saw is what Priebus and Bannon wanted, a crisis in the language Trump understood. Not a substantive crisis or on the ethics or the Constitution, a crisis on air. The White House reacting by saying Trump did not intend to fire Mueller while claiming that he could. And the Mueller report notes Ruddy's testimony that Trump was angry that he basically told on him. So the plan worked. It boxed Trump into his own denial. buying time at the very moment that Trump's aides were most concerned his anger might lead him to destroy his own presidency. So why am I telling you this tonight? One more interesting story, to be sure, from the Mueller report, but what does it reveal? One, Trump was pretty easy to play. Two, Mueller handles evidence fairly. The report doesn't use this pretty absurd story to malign all the participants. It notes the evidence that several of these people were trying hard to stop obstruction of justice. And three, this story, this corroborated report evidence from Trump's own highest-serving aides, shows that at least some of the time this White House is not operating as a rational organization. It's not operating as a place where plans are logically debated and then decisions are reached on the merits. What I'm saying, to depart for a moment from the dry language of the Mueller report, is that at times the depiction from Trump's own aides' testimony under oath is a White House that runs like a scary, vengeful, irrational dumpster fire of illogic, with a totally broken deliberative process, salted with secret plots to try to save the boss from his own ideas that are not just terrible, but are potentially criminal, according to the judgment of his own most loyal aides. Remember, the only reason we know these set of facts is because this happened to be the subject under criminal investigation. Is this how the White House decisions are made on security or foreign policy or the economy right now? Those are chilling questions. And they are broader than the important but narrower facts that Bob Mueller was authorized to probe in the first place. Hey, I'm Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.